Hey there, welcome to the garden. Today I am planting up some pumpkins and squash, watermelon, and I wanted to just kind of share with you where I'm growing them and how I'm growing them, because if you've been here before, you know I have a pretty small garden, so I don't have just absolutely tons of space to grow these things, but I have a few tricks that I'm going to use to plant these crops, and I'm super excited to see how they turn out. So let me show you the first one. I'm going to be planting pumpkins, and I'm going to be doing two kinds of pumpkins. Now, if you've grown pumpkins before, you know they can get absolutely massive. Their vines can just trail and take over. I actually grew like a Cinderella pumpkin one year, and it literally like covered the entire garden. So I'm not doing that, but I am growing two of these smaller pumpkins. So one is this weeby little pumpkin from Pinetree seeds. These are like kind of those cute little pie looking pumpkins. You know, you see them at maybe like garden centers and stuff for decor. Mostly these pumpkins are just, you know, for fall decor. So little just mini pumpkins. And then this fun mix that I found from Fairy Morris that has like the little Casper kind of white flatter and this pretty like mixed white and orange pumpkin. So these are the two pumpkins that I'm going to be growing. I'm just going to do like one or two plants of each, and I'm going to be growing them vertically. So that is how I'm going to fit these vines into the garden. So I have a large trellis here. I would say this is at least 4 feet tall. So plenty of room for these pumpkin plants to grow. And I'm just going to remove, this is a cabbage. I have a couple cabbage in this bed that have gone to seed. So no cabbage heads for me. I'm gonna remove that little cabbage down there, and then I'll just plant like 1 or 2 seeds by each corner of the trellis. And then as they grow, I'll start to train them up the trellis, and that should work really well. And since they are a smaller size pumpkin, they won't like overwhelm the trellis and pull it down. Hopefully. So I'm just gonna adjust my little sprinkler system here and kind of make a space for the seeds. Now, one of the things with pumpkins is that they are heavy feeders. So they do like to have quite a bit of you know, food to eat in the soil. So I have put compost in this bed. I may even put a bit more. We'll see as the season goes, but I'm basically just going to make a couple little spots here, and then I'll grab my seeds. See if I can do this one-handed. I don't know. Give me a second. Okay, just drop. I'm going to do 2 seeds and then a third one over here, just to kind of be safe, and I can thin these out if I need to. And I will do another couple ones right here. This is a little chamomile plant that will kind of push up while these pumpkins are getting started. We'll do 1, 2, and cover over. And then I'm going to plant this mini harvest blend on the other side. It'll be super fun to watch these take off and grow up this trellis. And again, as I said, I'm definitely going to be training them and making sure that they're going in the right direction, and you know, just following all of that. The other thing that I'm going to grow in this bed is actually a watermelon. Now this one I am not going to let grow vertically. I'm going to try to train it over the sides. That's another thing that you can do if you have limited space, like in your raised beds, is you can grow things over the side and off the edge. This greenhouse, the cover is going to be coming off, and I'm going to have some grow bags in here, and I figure I will let the watermelon spill over the bed and then in and around the grow bags. That's kind of the plan. And I did pick a sugar baby watermelon. So these make super sweet, delicious fruit. But the nice thing about them too is that I have heard from other people that they are just not quite as crazy large of a vine. It doesn't really say that here on the seed packet, but I have heard that from multiple sources, that they're kind of like not as massive a watermelon. So we're gonna try it. And it also is a nice heavy feeder, so I'll probably come back in like during the season and put some more compost and real fertilizer and stuff in this bed just to make sure it has enough food to feed all these pumpkins and this watermelon. And then again, I'm gonna micromanage it a little bit and train the watermelons over here to this side and around the grow bag. Okay, so here are the watermelon seeds. Pretty familiar to what you're used to seeing. And I'm gonna do just 4 and probably thin it down to just 2 plants. Let's see, I'm gonna do 1 set of 2 in this corner. There you guys go. And then I'm gonna move these. These are my drip system for my grow bags once I get them set up. Right now it's a little bit of a mess. And then another watermelon right here. There we go, cover them over. And I'm gonna come back and water this all in, of course. So planting these kind of things strategically on corners and sides of the bed are really helpful if you're trying to maximize your space. I'm going to throw in just 1 plant of this really pretty Sunstripe summer squash. It just looks really beautiful, and it's supposed to have, let's see, delicious fruit. Fruit begins to appear 2 months after sowing, nonstop production. Yeah, I love summer squash. I just use it in so many different things. And I have this bed. I'll flip you around and show you that I'm doing some peppers. I've got some flowers and things, but I thought I would just stick 1 squash in the corner and again, train it off the side. You can also grow squash vertically. So if you have like a tomato cage, you can put that around the seedling and then kind of like train it up the tomato cage. So that's another way to save space with squash. I haven't really done that, but I've seen it lots of places and it looks like a really great way to do it. I usually just grow off the side of my beds, but one of these days I may have to do a vertical summer squash because it seems like, yeah, just a super good way to do it. So here's my bed with some peppers. I've got a little gomphrena and some chamomile. So this will be a nice tall, airy plant. We're gonna do a whole line of zinnias along the front, and then in this corner, I'm just gonna do like 1 little squash plant and train it off the corner of the bed. I also think it looks kind of pretty to have like plants like this spilling off the sides. It really makes for that abundant look. All right, here is the last way that I am going to grow a melon in my small garden, and that is in a container. So even if you don't have a raised bed or in-ground planting, there are some melons that you can grow in containers. It is helpful to look for a container variety, and I have this Minnesota midget cantaloupe that is a small personal size cantaloupe, and it is container friendly. So that is a really great way if you want to have this kind of produce in your garden, you don't have space, you have a small space. Yeah, you can just grow a container variety. There's lots of different seed companies. Oh, there's so many airplanes going overhead today. There's lots of different seed companies that do container varieties. Once you start looking, you'll be actually really shocked, I think, at how many different varieties like this you can find. There's really a lot out there. So I hope that maybe this gave you some ideas on how you can still enjoy these crops. I will definitely keep you posted as the season goes about how all this growing goes and how they all do. But definitely let me know what you're growing in containers or in small spaces. I would love to hear, or in your big, beautiful gardens too. Would love to know. I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye-bye.